Hey guys, this is Turok. So, wow, Elbaf is right around the corner. I'm really excited. I forgot all about this because I've been like I'm trying to catch up on videos here, and I had a lot of other stuff going on. But then I was so like content wise been paying attention to One Piece, the live action. And last week I was like, after I finished watching the Netflix one, I was also watching like the anime. It's just like rewatching the anime stuff that covered, that I just forgot that this is coming out. So this is gonna be really exciting to see, and everyone's already getting over this, reacting to this, as you can see. I couldn't do this over the weekend because I had my floor redone here. I had problems with it, and so my computer equipment was. I had to sit out there while I was trying to get my other videos and stuff, and like wait for this to get done with the contractor. And so I'm trying to get this done today. And so this is going to be just really exciting because now the Elbaf arc. So this is spoilers. I'm going to be talking about this. If you look at my channel, I'm reviewing One Piece since the end of Wano. So this arc is about 30 chapters ahead, which would be like probably roughly 30 episodes or so. It's probably more chapters, like 32 chapters, I think now, but it depends on how they do the pacing, and I've talked about that in some of my other videos. Sometimes they have the more than one chapter per episode, sometimes they don't. This break I kind of feel might have been something to do to help Oda with that pacing, because I've heard about this stuff too with other people. Like I remember Toriyama had this problem too. The guy who made Dragon Ball, that they were keeping up. I feel bad for him. I wonder if that was part of if there was a stress level there. If there was, I wouldn't want to be part of this kind of stuff like this, where he had to keep moving the story along, and the anime was like, I think someone said when he was at the Super Saiyan part, they were like 20 episodes behind where his stuff is, something like that. And so I've noticed that over the years too. That's the biggest thing too, is like Bleach, the Bleach anime, the from the beginning to the end of the Fullbringer arc, about 50% of that is all filler. And so like I'm wondering if they just did that a lot because they just were catching up too quickly to Kubo's story. And there was this a really long gap there too when they just stopped. I never looked into why, and I'm curious still what that was about, because it's only about 4 years ago now that they started doing so about 10 years after they stopped, that they're doing the Thousand Year Blood War, which was the stuff that Kubo was still doing around the time when the anime ended, and then he ended 4 years. The Bleach manga ended 4 years after that, and so anyways, yeah, I just thinking that Oda here because they did a 6 month break too in 20, no, end of 24 into 25, and then at that time they did a redo of the Fishman arc, the Fishman Island arc. So now that, anyways, they're gonna change this out where they're doing like a set number of episodes a year, I guess. So anyways, this is considered season 2. I keep seeing everyone do that. If anyone comments on that, I get what you're saying. Haha. It's just kind of, I don't know. It's not. So I love to laugh at stuff, but this one isn't like, oh, I'm just, this joke is getting a little old for me. I'm just gonna kind of like say, okay, I get it. For me, the seasons, the thing my brain thinks too much sometimes is like very structurally and noticing little patterns. To me, this is like season 5. Cause I keep like noticing the little parts where you can tell the animation changed. Like the worst thing was like whoever animated Whitebeard originally, it looked terrible. And then when he got him again later, 200, about 200 episodes later, so he was first shown in 150 something, and then they shown again in 316, so a little, almost not quite 200 episodes, like 175 episodes later. He looks so much better. So, anyways, the season stuff was kind of like from the beginning to the Skypiea looked like season 1 to me, and then the season 2 was kind of almost season 2 3. It's kind of hard. It's like there was from the Long Ring Island to the end of time skip. So about 300 episodes there was like season 2. And then when the time skip starts until the end of Whole Cake was season 3. And then Wano and Egghead is kind of the season 4. So this feels like a season 5 for me. And we'll see here with the animation. And it looks like it's gonna be the same stuff. I can see the stuff with Loki already. So now we got his hair color and stuff. That's something else too. Now it's interesting to see some of the the colors. I've seen some of the fan art of certain characters and how they're trying to do that with characters we haven't seen before. And like the big one we got was Rox. So Rox has a backstory here, and that's gonna be fitted in. And he was in one of the Shonen Jump things a few months back, so we saw his hair color and such. So now we'll get to see the others. So let's see what this is about.
Namore.
Nope. Does it sound good? Let's see.
Namore.
Alright, so this is Loki. I'll go over it later. Yeah, there's Severson's crew. Robin, yeah. You're the sun god. Oh, right, he says that. Okay. That was only 30 seconds. It says 40. You lied to me. Oh, Queen Blaze. Hold on. So, yeah, this is only shown in very early stuff. So, yeah, by the way, so anyone who doesn't remember, Loki was brought up for the first time in Whole Cake Island. I forget the chapter and episode, respectively. But I know it was like, so Lola, we found out there was Big Mom's daughter. She was trapped on Thriller Bark because Moria got her shadow, and she helps out the Straw Hats. Her and her crew are the ones who have the idea to give Luffy the shadows to make him Shadow Luffy. She was so Big Mom likes to do the marriage to make a what do you call it, like a contract to with another group of people to have an alliance. Kind of, if you've watched so if anyone who's watched Game of Thrones and hasn't seen One Piece, if you get to the part with Whole Cake Island and Big Mom, she'll feel very familiar what she does. She does the same stuff you see in that kind of story setting, where she marries her children to other people to create alliances. And the main part of that story is that she wants to have her daughter Pudding marry Sanji because he's part of a royal family called the Germa, and she's doing it to get access to their scientific infrastructure and stuff they have to bolster her power. And so she tried to do the same thing with Lola and have her marry Loki. So this would be interesting now, because now this was interesting when for us who watched the manga, read the manga already. Loki had this weird silhouette that was only shown there, and they did a little Easter egg of it in the live action. I saw some people caught that. Good on you. I caught it too. And so he looks way different than the silhouette they used initially that in the manga and anime. But anyways, yeah, Loki and Lola were meant to get married, and I hope they I think Lola got married to someone else now, though. I think she married one of Capone's other men, and her sister's married to Capone himself. So they both married into the fire tank pirates. So it was done in a cover story. I don't think the anime showed that. So anyways, this is really cool now to see all this little stuff. So yeah, Loki's tied up here because he got captured by Shanks. From what we can tell from the last chapter, he probably was captured by. Actually, this was someone else's theory. He may have been captured because he was about to march on the Holy Land. So he wanted revenge for his father's death, because he knew his father was working with the world government for decades, and then he had to kill his father to save Elbaf, but then he wanted revenge for the reason it happened, and what do you call it? And so the last chapter hinted at him trying to he was attacking all kinds of government ships and stuff, and he maybe Shanks stopped him because Loki was about to go on Marijoa and try to destroy it. I don't know. There's some stuff there. I feel like Loki must have went too far somewhere, because it's been more or less. It hasn't been confirmed by Loki, but it seemed it was was it? That it was Shanks that defeated him, and he was then brought back to Elbaf and tied up there as you see him. So, anyways, yeah. Here's the other giant. Here's Harun's crew. So all we knew about these guys initially is that so Harun showed up in Dressrosa, and then I don't remember if I don't remember if they said it there or like if from Buggy, but apparently these guys were working for Buggy. Harun decided to work for Buggy when he was a warlord, and then this guy, though we had met before, he was captured by the world government and was going to be sold as a slave. We saw him in Saba-Odi. His name was Stevison, and he was Rayleigh helped him escape at that point after Luffy punched that St. Charlos, and then he went back to the Elbaf and he joined up with Harun's group. So that would have been before the time skip, and then these guys all joined up with Buggy to work for him. But Harun, after being saved by Luffy and Dressrosa, they left Buggy's employment, and they became one of Harun has like not contracted. What's the word? He's not endowed himself. I can't think of the right word. He's speaking for the rest of them, saying, okay, we're gonna work for Luffy now. And so we never saw these guys in anime. No, we did kind of see them. So we never see them. We see some of them in the Egghead flashback. We saw Gerd, especially. I think Gerd, Goldberg, and maybe even Stevison. Was it Stevison? No, I forget now. I know Gerd is there. They went to Ohara and helped retrieve the books. But also in the manga, there's a cover story that introduces them that wasn't shown. So that Oda did to reveal them because they call themselves the new giant pirates, because the old giant pirates being the crew that were under command of Dorian Bragi. So they show them here because they're going to be prominent. Yeah, and we get Robin and the others. Okay. Wait, what is that scene? Okay. Yeah, so they're going to be trapped here. So Rodo, who's one of Harun's crew members, has this weird hobby, really weird. He kidnaps humans, and he's got them in a giant Lego set, essentially. The only good thing out of this is that he captured a bunch of Cypherpol agents who've been trying to sneak into Elbaf for years to find out what's going on there, because Emu wants to have Elbaf under his thumb, because there's something going on there where it's kind of like a prophecy stuff going on, and Emu's worried that someday someone will usurp his control of the world, and like he's worried about Nika, and he's worried about the Davy Jones and other characters, people coming back to overthrow him, and the giants are very prevalent today because obviously they're an enormous group of giant humans who are all warriors, and if they were all whatever side they take would be very detrimental to the other side. This is part a thing too where goes back to Caesar Clown, where he was trying to artificially create giants by using a drug on these children to create a army of them, so that he could then do that contract with the world government and become this create this thing that no one else could ever do, and then that would help Emu's cause. I don't think certainly Caesar didn't understand about Emu being the one who was part of that, but he wanted to do that. Hold on. Okay, so we got Goldberg. Yeah, there's some new effects going here. Do not overstay your welcome, just like Little Garden coming back. Then Shank's gonna. Yeah, that's right. The God's Knights are gonna show up. That's right. They made some kind of deal, and I just brought this up in the chat review a few days ago. There's something going on, and we still haven't seen that part. What Loki would tell him. Loki agreed that if Luffy would free him, Loki would tell him what he knows about Shanks.
Luffy.
Okay. So they just show like new giant pirate boat and then Roto's thing mostly. So we still haven't seen Elbaf much. The only thing we've got out of Elbaf so far was when Big Mom was there 50 years ago. So oh man, why do they always say that? It makes me sad. Rip to all the people who didn't make it to live to see this. Gojo's voice actor is Loki? Okay, peak piece, yeah, all that stuff. Okay. The only other thing that kind of throws me off is they show the silhouette of Loki's eyes here, and they didn't do that in the manga. They do show Loki's eyes at one point when he's really little, and he's got these weird eyes, which is why he wears the band-aids. He like hides them. But I thought that was interesting. They decided to show the silhouette of them. That's Gordon Goldberg. She's the doctor, and I think he's the cook of among Haru's crew. Where is Loki's eyes? Where did they show Loki's eyes? I saw it in the silhouette. Oh yeah, right there. Yeah. So his eyes silhouette is shown there, but you never see his eyes. We haven't yet to see his eyes in the present day in any capacity in the manga. So this will be interesting to see how they're doing this, and how many times they might do this, I should say. But his eyes are shown when he's a baby, and they'll probably do that in a flashback point, which will come. I don't know if we'll get to see that this year, though. If they're doing 26 episodes, that's great. Yeah, we might. Yeah, by the end of this year, if depending on is it 26 episodes? However many episodes they're planning on doing, that the end of this year will probably be where the flashback starts. Yeah, it looks like they're doing a total of 26 episodes per year. Right, 26 episodes. Okay. And yeah, so that'll be interesting. They might just but so if all those episodes are released this year, I only bring it up because now it's like, is that going to be released? Because I just had such a long break here. They'll probably get to the flashback by the end of this year. Then we'll have to wait a little bit. I wonder if they're going to just keep doing it. Like they'll do all the episodes starting in April through December each year. So every 2 weeks would that be? That's going to be something. That's going to be interesting how they're doing that. Because a year is like about 52 weeks, and 26 is half of that. Yeah, probably every 2 weeks then. They'll release that. So we're finally going to get Elbaf. This is the big thing too. The last thing I want to say is, we're finally Elbaf. So Elbaf was brought up in Little Garden, which we just got the live action, which is appropriate to bring up where Elbaf is there. And then, so in the manga anime, that was probably like 25 years ago that Elbaf was brought up by when we met Dorian Bragi in Little Garden, and I just rewatched that last week, and now we're finally there. That as far as us making it here to get this part of the story, this see here, because this is the point where Usopp and Luffy especially wanted to reach here for so long, and for them it's only been over about 2.5 years or so. For us, we're waiting over 25 years to get here. It's just, oh my God, we're finally here. So I kind of get it when people saying, oh, my condolences to people that didn't make it. But yeah, there's a lot more that's going to come up here. And wait, I do want to see that's right. Wait, that's what I wanted to look up. Oh, here we go. Let's see, is this the one? Did they have this before? Preview. I think they showed us at the end of... Yeah.
酒を酌み交わし巨大な料理に
Yeah,
舌
they're all
鼓を打つ
partying
一同
on the Great
目指
Eric.
すは待望
And then
の
there's,
エルバフ新たなる冒険に期待を
oh
膨
yeah,
らま
we're
せ
gonna see some of the fallout of the stuff on
ルフィ
Full
たち
Ed.
は大海原を突き進む
次回ワンピース
The Great Eric, yeah.
のエルバ最下位のでっけえ宴海賊王に
Yeah, yeah, we know we become
ル
King
フ
of
ィた
Pirates.
ち
We
は
get it.
大海原を突き
Oh, I thought that was gonna be no, that's I thought that was wait, is that Aokiji? Or is that Scopper? It looks like
ルフィたち
Aokiji.
は大海原を突き進む一同
Oh boy, a lot going on here. There's Bartolomeo. Yeah, so anyways, there's a lot going on here. There's a lot going to happen in Elbaf. I can't wait to see them animate it. It's just, I I kind of wish they would just binge release a bunch of them in Blump so I could binge them. The first, well, that's going to be hard, yeah. This first 20 episodes or so are going to be really interesting. I hope they kind of compact a little more of it in there. I feel like they could. That way we could start getting some of the flashback a little sooner. Yeah, because I think the flashback, if they did one chapter per episode, the flashback will probably be right at the end of this season as they're doing it, as it were, the end of 25 or 26 or roughly thereabouts. That'll be something I'll be watching carefully to get when the episodes start releasing to try and see how many they're going to do, how much they're going to put into one episode so we can get an idea of how the flashback will be. And I got to look up now too what they'll do with the if there'll be a break like this again. So if they go from now through December, will they take a 3-month break again, or they just maybe a few weeks to get the next ones out and they'll space it out better? Because I feel like this is going to be really tight this year, how they're going to do this. I feel like they'll have to try and make it a little tight now so they can space them out better next year and as it going forward to the end of this end of the anime. So anyways, yeah, this was awesome. I'm glad that we're getting season 5. Oh, I'm gonna call this like season 6, really. No, is it 5? Wait, how did I say that again? 1, 2, 3. Whatever it is. I'm glad we're getting this new stuff now. And now also, yeah, we're going to get more Frankie. So I want to see what we're going to see with him. What his voice will be like. Because his voice actor had to retire around the beginning of Egghead or so. And he didn't have a lot of screen time in Egghead. So he couldn't hear him a lot. And I don't think he gets a ton in Elbaf either. But there should be enough there that we can finally figure out what his voice is going to be like and get used to it. Because the other guy had to retire basically. So yeah, this was great, and thanks for watching.